My name is Tyson Ford. I'm from Mattawan, Michigan. I'm 22 years old. Throughout most of my life, there was always something there that wasn't quite right. Although I was part of the majority of people who didn't really know there was a way to fix it, so I didn't really know it was a true problem. I always just saw it as like an obstacle in my life, you know. I didn't see depth, but in my point of view, depth never existed. I lived in a world where school wasn't the biggest struggle. Yeah, I had supportive parents, my school was supportive, but there was always a challenge in there somewhere, whether it was reading the assignments or whether it was like not losing track in the math, where did the X go, stuff like that. And I always just thought it was because I was, you know, bad at reading or bad at math. But knowing that there's a reason that's not necessarily my fault, and more so knowing that there's a solution that I can affect, that was the biggest change for me. There's hope out there. There's ways that you can get better. I had a brother who went through the process, and I was out of town, but I kept on hearing like stories each week about how his vision was becoming better and better. And me and him had different situations that caused us not to have depth, but I mean, overall, we were both experiencing the same things. I remember particularly, there was this one time where my mom was talking to me and she was making fun of my brother just a little bit, telling me about when they went out seeing fireworks. And he leaned over to her and he asked, like, have they always been spherical or is that something new? Because in his world, they're always just circular fireworks. And my only response was, are you telling me that fireworks aren't just circles in the sky? And so that was when my mom kind of realized how bad it was for me as well. Here at Wild Vision Therapy, I worked with Dr. Alicia. She was super helpful. It was kind of nervous coming in here because all of my life I was told that like there wasn't an answer to this, and all of a sudden there was. So you put a lot of hope in this person, but she did a fantastic job at, you know, making me feel comfortable, making me want to achieve the goals that I set. Yeah, some of the activities I liked the most were obviously all the video games that we got to play here. Sometimes they were a bit challenging though because you had to use your eyes in different ways. One of the activities here is a little card that has two circles on it, and if you use your eyes correctly, you can cast the circle almost like in front of or behind the card. And there's baseball swinging from the ceiling, and I remember pretty vividly one time when the ball started swinging through the circle, and that was probably one of my favorite moments here. Overall, my experience at Wild Vision Therapy was successful. I came in here and I worked really hard. I had people supporting me along the way, and I got to the point where now I see depth in the world. Recently, I traveled to Europe, and the architecture over there, I was kind of worried it would be a disappointment, but it was in depth, it had detail, and it was really exciting. And I don't think it would have been that same level of excitement without the efforts that I put in here and the support of Wild Vision Therapy.